Hi guys, welcome back to the Sicilian Revival. My name is Chris, aka Big Will, and today we have games against AC Milan, who are league leaders at the moment, and we follow it up with a game against Udinese, who are one of the few teams that are actually behind us in the league. We're sat in 15th place at the moment. When we were last in Serie A, we looked at the points to game ratio, and we're doing the exact same again this season. If truth be told, we're 13 points out of 11 games, so we're above that ratio at the moment, which is always a positive. And since we've changed formation, we've been a little bit hit and miss. We had a couple of friendlies, which we booked in that 3-week break, and we won them reasonably comfortably. We then lost 2-0 against Fiorentina and 2-1 against Sassuolo. We just didn't really get into the games. But we then managed to win 2-0 at home against AS Roma. So we're certainly getting some good scouts at the moment this season, with wins against Napoli and Roma. We then followed it up with a 1-0 draw away against Torino. We were the better side, but it took us until the 82nd minute to find an equaliser. So we're a little bit hit and miss on form. This new formation does seem to have helped things in terms of the way that we're playing, but for the first few games, we did struggle a little bit to get any kind of form going. And I fear that it could be similar today. Udinese away is quite a big game because they could be a fellow relegation threatened side. But the next game against AC Milan at home, I'm not really thinking that we're going to do too much in this match. Um, it's going to be an incredibly tough match. And as you can imagine, with them sat at top of the table with 28 points from their opening 12 games, if we can get anything from this, I think it'll be a minor miracle. Um, so going into the game, we are sticking with the pressing forward, but a number of our strikers are better as deep lying forwards. So it is something to bear in mind, but we need them to play in this pressing forward system just to get them used to playing this way. We need them to do this. We need our forwards to really put the pressure on. We're sticking with the wingers on a support mentality, but they are further forward. Wing backs on automatic, so Kumbedi and Vasic will be up and down the right and left hand side respectively, and making a fool of themselves with a bit of luck, but in a good way. And the two youngsters, Bangura and Musto, seem to have settled into that midfield quite well recently as well, which is really, really good to see. We're suffering with a couple of injuries at the moment. Coliseko is still trying to return from injury. Likewise, Rivera, Capetti and Mlaka are still our long-term absentees. So going into this game, we're not quite at full strength, but we're certainly not far from it. And if we can put in a good performance today, regardless of the result, because I think we know which way the result's going to go. But if we can just put in a good performance today, I'll be relatively happy. One win in our last five, 2 draws and 2 defeats. It's not completely relegation form, but I do feel that we do have to just pick it up a little bit if we can in the next number of weeks. We have got some tough games coming up though, the likes of Lazio, Inter, and Juventus all coming up very, very soon. So there's going to be a lot to play for, but we'll see how we get on. And one thing that I have found with playing in this way, we seem to have been a bit better defensively, even though we lost against Fiorentina and Sassuolo. The goals were quite good that they scored against us, so we weren't conceding as many sloppy goals, and hopefully that will continue. Kumbedi here with a throw-in into Rahman, back to Kumbedi, Rahman again, cuts into the penalty area and strikes it superbly, and we lead against the league leaders here. Vali Rahman with the goal. He's had a couple of games out recently. Igor has played on that right-hand side in the last couple of games. But Rahman cutting inside and finishing really well. Mainan completely beaten. And we take the lead. And we've actually had more possession today. And this is the thing. We're changing this formation and changing the way that we're playing. I think we're starting to surprise one or two teams because we're going that little bit more aggressive than we're used to. But it's certainly been a very good first half performance. Both sides with an equal number of chances. We're slightly edging the XG. Possession pretty close, but we are edging it as well. And so far, I can't complain. This is a fantastic performance. And we remain 1-0 up. And as things stand, we will push up to 12th place in the table as Ross plays it back to the goalkeeper, Brazil, and now back to Ross again. Tried to play it forward, Decore easily intercepting that, and now Kanate getting a strike away, and it goes wide. And bit of a poor finish, really, from the AC Milan striker, but we'll certainly take it. We do not mind that at all. It remains 1-0. A few players just starting to struggle for fitness, and I fear that we might have to make some changes here, which isn't ideal because obviously with the pace of the game being as it is, especially having to make a double change in central midfield potentially, we could mess things up here. And it's a poor pass from Verratti and Pena with a lovely pass into Cunha, and that's a very good finish from Mateus Cunha. It's a lovely pass that from Pena, and unfortunately we have conceded that equalising goal, and we will now make the changes anyway. Valenzuela is going to come on, and we'll get Molteni and Christoph on in that central midfield. Both of them are capable of playing in midfield, so we'll play them in there. Burdick is going to come off for Higor. And Kambeda is also struggling, so we'll probably take him off for Angeloni. And that will be all 5 changes being made. We've had some very good performances out there today. But just for fitness concerns, I think it is wise that we make all of these changes. The fact that we're even in a game against AC Milan right now is brilliant, if truth be told. The fact that we've been ahead for so long, yes, we've just conceded. But hopefully we can hold on to this draw at the moment. But Rafa Leao trying to get down that left-hand side, Angeloni into Molteni, and now Rahman. It's a poor pass from Rahman. He has been on the pitch all game as well. It should be sharper than that. Good tackle on Cunha. Verratti couldn't quite beat Cunha to the ball. And again, it's recycled. And all of a sudden, AC Milan looking the more favourite side here as Cunha gets in behind again. And that is a good save from Brazil. Molteni with a very poor touch there. And Cunha managing to get in and get the strike away. We've dropped some encouragement to the lads. But all of a sudden, AC Milan looking very much likely that they could score the winner here. And somehow it bobbles into the hands of Brazil. I don't know what happened there defensively, but it fell in our favour in the end. And my word, have we dropped lucky there. It's still a relatively even game. They've just edged the number of chances. Going to drop a bit of encouragement for the last couple of minutes. And hopefully we can see this out. That is a huge, huge point from our point of view. And clearly the more aggressive style of play seems to just taking a little bit more note. And yes, AC Milan did end up getting a lot more chances, but we certainly held our own and we created plenty of chances ourselves. So I'm very happy with that result against the league leaders. We sit on 14 points. We're 5 points ahead of the bottom 3, in which Udinese have just dropped into. So potentially a very big game, this away game now against Udinese. If we can get a good result here, it could really show that we've taken that extra step. We got 27 points when we were in Serie A last season. We're more than halfway there, and we've only played a third of the league games. So, very much positive signs. Let's see how we do. We'll be back in 14 days' time. So, 2 weeks in game. Follow game away against Udinese. Again, as I say, hopefully a good result to come ahead of it. Okay, guys, here we go for the game away against Udinese. We have no fresh injury concerns, so hopefully we can go out there and get the job done. Starting lineup remains the same. Colisacco isn't quite fully fit, but he is on the bench today. Rivera's still struggling as well for fitness also. But other than that, we're looking pretty good. It's the same starting lineup that drew with AC Milan. And to be honest, rightfully so, for us to get that result. I think we did extremely well. And hopefully we can do something similar today against the side who had the beating of us last time in Serie A, but they have pretty much near the bottom of the table. They really are struggling for form themselves. So we have an opportunity here just to extend a little bit of a gap at the moment. Hopefully we can. And I think it could be a closer game. Considering the result we had against AC Milan, it could be a closer game than you might expect. I'm not expecting any fireworks. I'm not expecting us to run into games after having a couple of good results against the likes of Roma and AC Milan and expect to win all these other games. We still need to go out there and do the job. And we've got quite an inexperienced squad. It's still relatively young as well. So it's something that we have got to be a bit careful of, but a huge defensive error from Udinese has allowed Thomas Burdick to give us the opener here, just about 9.5 minutes gone. And defensively, that was absolutely calamitous from Udinese. Schmidt tried to play it in. Burdick got tackled by Christensen. Buta cleared. And Blum tried to nod it back to his goalkeeper, I think, but the keeper was nowhere to be seen. And Burdick just said thank you very much and knocked it in. A very bizarre goal, that one. Again, we'll certainly take it, but that gives us a very good advantage in these early stages. And Udinese trying to build their way up from the back here, playing it quite dangerously. We're closing them down a lot better here. And it's a good header from Verratti. And now Musto into Schmidt. And again, just struggling a little bit to maintain our width at the moment. And Burdick just loses out to Morante. And now Blum coming down this right hand side. It's only been a few minutes since we took the lead. Vasic into Burdick. And now Moroni into Bangura. Back to Rahman. And again, Bangura found a really good pass into Kumbede. And once again, we're trying to certainly put this game to bed early on at the moment. Here is Ross into Musto. That's a lovely pass. Vali Rahman is in behind, and Vali Rahman fires it into that bottom corner. 4 minutes later, we make it 2-0. And this is a very good start to this game for us. And again, that little extra bit of positivity in our play that we've decided to put into the side for in this new system that we're playing, this new setup and attacking play certainly seems to be working. Hopefully, it will continue. Free kick here for Kamada for Udinese. He'll look to fire this into that near post, and he does, and it's only just over the crossbar. Brazil was definitely beaten there, but luckily, from our point of view, it was off target, and it remains 2-0. And obviously, the quick start we've made was a bit of a shock, probably to Udinese, but we'll certainly take it. We're very happy with this as things stand. Possession-wise, relatively even. We've actually had less of the ball than Udinese today, which, since we changed this system, we tend to do quite well in possession, but today not quite as dominant. But we are away from home as well, and the fact that we've got the early goals in an away game is certainly very, very good. As Moroni finds Thomas Burdick, and that's a good save from Markovic. It remains 2-0, but that was a big opportunity there for 3. And Schmidt here with the corner. Swings it in toward that far post, and it's well cleared by Christensen. Vali Rahman does pick it up, though, tries to get into the penalty area. He gets brought down. There's no foul there, and it's out for another corner. And it's going to be Marone to swing it in toward the centre of the penalty area. In it goes, and it's cleared by Christensen, and Nasty furthers it clear as well. But the pressure continues. It's wave after wave of attack, and Vali Rahman now down this right-hand side. It's a throw-in the end. Beza doing well with the challenge, and unfortunately nothing comes of it afterwards. But a very, very positive first half performance. Again, possession-wise, we're just lacking a little bit. But in relation to creation of chances, we're looking a lot better. Twice as many attempts at goal, and they haven't had a shot on target. We've had 3 and scored 2 of them. So certainly looking very, very good here. Let's see if it continues in the second half. We certainly hope so. And obviously, with all the options that we've got in all of the positions now as well, we've certainly got that extra strength in depth, I think. But I think we do need a little bit more quality even in the first team. I know we're doing well today, but I think just that little bit of extra quality and maybe even experience. The thing is, these young players become available. We have to go in for them because a lot of them are quite cheap. And I think just tweak 1 or 2 little bits and pieces, a tiny bit more experience in the squad, and I think we'd probably be about right, if truth be told, as Udinese really putting the pressure on there, and Brazil made a very good save in the middle of that as well. It remains 2-0 as we go into the last 15 minutes, and Christensen into Blum as they try and get it away from their goal. Kamada plays it all the way back and out wide to the left back Buta, who's certainly maintained the width there, and now Solomon into Kamada again. He gets there ahead of the midfielder, and now Colo Colo trying to move forward, finds Blum on this right hand side. Chance to get it into the penalty area, swings it in toward that far post, and Solomon is there, and Solomon has scored. Mana Solomon, he's a very good player, to be fair, Mana Solomon. I think he's certainly above the quality of Udinese, in my opinion. They just seem to have changed something. They've all of a sudden created more chances than we have in the game, and they've just started to really pick it up a bit. And we're going to have to make some changes ourselves. Mamadou Ba can come on that right-hand side. Higo can come on in the centre. Gambo we're going to bring on that left-hand side of midfield as well. And I mean, Vasic is on a yellow card. He's not actually had a good game either. I think, to be fair, Valenzuela can come on, Gambo can come on at left back. We'll confirm those 4 changes. And we'll just demand a little bit more from the team. We just need to maintain our focus here and just try and push on a little bit. We've certainly let them back into the game. And the second half, we've been a little bit poor, if truth be told. I feel like the side may have taken it a little bit for granted that the game may have already been done, as Musto tries to find the pass into Mamadou Ba. Buta beats him to it, and Buta charges forward. He's got support in the penalty area, finds Nasty, and there's the equaliser for Udinese. And again, poor from our point of view, switching off at the back, it would appear. And after an excellent first half performance, Udinese probably deserved to win the game. We're going to demand more for these last few minutes, and nothing will come of it. 3 points dropped, I think. Well, 2 points dropped, certainly. We did get the draw, didn't we? But I think we've let them off the hook there a little bit. We certainly switched off in that last 15 minutes. And there's still improvements to be needed. But I think 2 years ago in Serie A, we'd have lost that game. We remain 5 points clear of that bottom 3. So we're still in a good position. We're still above the game to point ratio as well. Albeit we would have liked it to have been by a little bit more. But it is what it is. And we will certainly take 2 points from those 2 games. And job done. In terms of going forward, I mean, 3 draws in 3 games. I didn't realise, I've forgotten that we drew with Torino as well. Going forward, we're probably going to be looking at probably Inter and Atalanta, maybe. And I mean, they're the last few games of the season as well, so we'll be certainly doubling up on one of the games for the campaign. Unless we double up on both of them, maybe. I think, to be fair, we'll just get Reggiano and Lazio out of the way. Juventus and Inter are massive games. Maybe not in the context of our season, but in the context of general fixtures, they are big games. So we'll probably come back for both Juventus and Inter Milan. And then after that, we'll come back for Barry and Cagliari and get the January transfer window out of the way. So until next time, guys, thank you very much for your support. Please like, subscribe to the channel. It is all greatly appreciated. I will see you all next time. This is Big Will, signing away.